Guys, how are you all doing? I hope you're very well. It's game week 6 here on Sorare NBA. Let's run you through my lineups that I'm going to be doing. I'll run you through some tips on some plays that I think are going to be good this week. And also, we hit another big rare reward, and you will not believe what happened to it. Let's get into it. Okay, so let me run you through the reward that I won last week. Let's jump to that. Previously.
I'll take a Russell Westbrook from a tier 3. I feel like that's good.
And now. The rare card. I just don't want it to be Westbrook because I got Westbrook last time. And I finished 31st this time, and the last time I finished 30th. So there is a chance. But let's see. Oh my God.
There's Russell Westbrook.
Right. Well then, it is Westbrook. Yeah, that's gone really, really well. Yeah, just great. That's exactly what I wanted it to happen. And now you're back in the room. Yes, it happened again. I got another Russell Westbrook. I can't quite believe it. It's a bit more annoying as well considering James Harden's now in town, so his usage is really falling out the floor with where his L10 is right now. So considering there were 2 tier 3s, it's slightly annoying, but it's one of those things that you just can't really do much about it. It happens from time to time. Let's go through all my lineups right now, including the in-season tournament lineup, my common, my limited, and my rares. Let's get into it. Okay, then, so as I just said beforehand, on common, if I do win a card here, a limited card, I'll be giving it away to a subscriber of the channel. So make sure you're subscribed and leave your Sorare name in the comments down below. I can't speak today. Anyway, Luka Doncic is going to be my MVP, slowly building up that XP as we've said before. Luka, Kawhi Leonard. Do I want to play Sabone? I'm not sure. Let me just check. I've got an Okogie still. I'm not playing Malik Beasley because the Bucks are looking bad right now, is what I'll say. We'll put Okogie in there. That leaves us with 30 left between the two. Royce O'Neal is a good play this week, especially with Ben Simmons out yet again. Nurkic is a nice play against the OKC matchup, and if AD misses there, that would leave me 29, in which I could put Tobias Harris in, who's been playing well. If I played Royce O'Neal over, would that make a difference? 39. PJ Washington, PJ Washington's not pulling up any trees for me, really. So we're gonna go for the combo that I mentioned just a moment ago, Tobias Harris and Yusuf Nurkic. Hopefully I win a limited card that I can give away to one of you guys. Onto the limiteds. Actually, before we get into limiteds, I'm gonna semi-prioritize the in-season tournament. Obviously, everyone knows I got the Luke. Well, everyone, if you're watching the channel this year, you'll know that I picked up a Luka Doncic at the start of the year. So he'll be my MVP. We'll use one of our Russell Westbrooks. We'll use one of our Russell Westbrooks in this here. I'm also going to use Anthony Edwards because I think that game against the Spurs, 47's high for him, but the game against the Spurs, he should do quite well in. We need new season cards here. So we need one more. Kyle Kuzma can fit the bill here. That leaves me with 17 left. And like I said, I think Day'Ron Sharp's actually a really good play. So I'm going to run Day'Ron Sharp in there as well. So that's my lineup there set for the in-season tournament. Let me know how you're doing in the comments down below. I want to see where you're placed right now because there are good monetary rewards even for quite low down. Like I didn't do too great last week and I'm sitting in 300th. So let me know how you're doing. I want to see how people are faring on. Right, limited champion then. Obviously, like I've said, I normally would prioritize limited champion like I've always banged on. So I would have my Luka and my Embiid in this lineup. But obviously, you know, I'm gonna try a bit in that in-season tournament. I want to see how far I can go in it. Embiid will be the MVP in any case. And then do I want to go lower? Jordan Poole is still at 20, and we all know what Jordan Poole has done this year. But I think he's not on the ban list yet. He's still going to go whilst he's got an L10 of 20 and he's got these like 2 games. I'm still one's against Charlotte. Like, come on, I have to play Jordan Poole there, don't I? So the question is, do I go any lower here? And I don't think I do. There's a few options that I've got, but we'll go with Jordan Poole there. I did go shopping because I picked up a Julius Randle and I also picked up a Sabone. So if I pick in Sabonis and Randle, that leaves me with 27 left. I think Ben Simmons is ruled out. Yeah, he's ruled out. He was questionable all week, but when Ben Simmons is questionable, it's pretty much that he's not playing. So I don't mind Kevon Looney, especially for that matchup against the Cavs. So we'll throw Kevon Looney in there for now, and we'll see how that goes. I've left 4 on the table, but I think that looks good. Onto the limited contender. Right, limited contender. One play off the top of my head, and I know Bismack Biyombo is like the one that's catching all of the heat right now. I don't own a Biyombo. I didn't buy one when he was cheaper, primarily because I think he's a play for like 1 week, 2 weeks, and that's not necessarily how I'd want to go and buy cards. Sometimes it is the play, but not necessarily for me. Sam Hauser is at an L turn of 10 for the Celtics, and he's actually getting really good minutes in this rotation currently. And when he's getting minutes, he's doing well. He's getting 27s, 23s. So I'm going to throw him in contender. I think maybe he's an underdog play, but I'm going to throw him in contender to let him see what I can do with this as well. Josh Richardson, someone I've also been mentioning about since the start of the season. He's going to go in there. That leaves me 29 with 3 left. So if I bump the price up a little bit and go and pick up Vucevic or Bam. Vucevic has got Detroit, but I really like that game for Bam. Both games, actually. I know Wemby's at the Spurs now, but both games are good for Bam. The issue with Bam is he's kind of a very hot and cold player, and we've just had 2 really big scores off him. So I'm not sure this is the week then to trust him. I know I trusted him last week, but we'll go for Bam again here. That leaves me with 25 now with 2 left. Could be a Jeremy Grant. If I put Dylan Brooks... See, Ben Simmons being out is so annoying because he's such a good play for that Washington game, but I don't want to risk a DNP. Dylan Brooks there leaves me with 29, so I could go for a Lou Dort. A Lou Dort against the Suns would be nice. The defensive stats he gets are really, really strong, but I think Jeremy Grant right now, he's just coming off the back of that 62-point game against Sacramento, but the Trailblazers are going to be without Brogdon. I think Ayton is fine. But they've got so many guys that are out. Anthony Simons is out. So Jeremy Grant's going to be getting a lot of shots. So Shaden Sharp. So I think Jeremy Grant might be the play there. It could be a Lou Dort. I'll see what happens come lock. And obviously if anything happens at lock is different. I think I'm going to be on live before lock with Mike. I'm sure all of you watch Mike anyway over at Team Hold. But we'll assess our options over at lock. But that'll be my limited contender. And we'll do limited underdog right now. So I quite like this tournament on the basis of that you can just kind of gamble with players that you're not sure where they're going to fit in and thereabouts. So that Jalen McDaniels was one that was projecting really high the other week, and then he just hasn't hit the ground running at all. I'm going to gamble. I know he's questionable against Phoenix, but I'm going to gamble that Jackson Hayes will be back for that game against Portland. And if AD is still not back, it's a lot there that needs to be digested, but also it helps build his XP up, and I want the XP rising for him for when that week comes where he's healthy and Christian Wood and AD isn't. He'll be a very, very good play. I'm also going to throw Shake Milton in there. He's been getting some minutes in the Timberwolves rotation coming off the bench. Paul Reed is a no-brainer. Nick Nurse is really trusting him a lot more now. L10 of 8 is good for when he's off the bench, but if Embiid randomly sat the Indiana game, it would be an even better play for it. That leaves me with 20 then with 2 slots left. Cam Reddish has been getting good minutes. He's just not been performing too well, but I'm going to throw him in there because that leaves me with 29. 29 leaves me with Tobias Harris, who's putting up some solid scores recently as well, or Lou Dort. And I think I'm actually going to go for Lou Dort over Tobias Harris. And that's going to be my limited underdog. Let's move on to my rare lineups. So I'm going to currently stick with the strategy that's working. I've won 2 top 30-ish, 30th and 31st finishes in Rare Contender because I've been focusing on Rare Contender over Rare Champion. So I'm going to prioritize this again. And also my MVPs this week are Lillard missed the last game for the Bucks with a calf strain. Booker has no certain return date yet. I know he was maybe being lined up to come against the Lakers and could be back for OKC. But again, I'm not going to take the gamble and put in a good lineup in for Champion for that to happen. And then Anthony Edwards, I'm going to play in the in-season tournament mode. So I'm going to prioritize a Contender again. Like I said before, I think I played him in my Contender team. I really like Sam Hauser this week. I think an L10 of 10 is very, very appealing for him, considering he's been hitting the mid-20 ranges each time. And if the Celtics blow out the Raptors or Brooklyn or the other way round, he should be trusted to get good minutes. And he's actually been performing this season, unlike points in last season. So I'm going to trust him in there. L10 of 10 opens up a lot more options in Rare Contender in any case. Now, I could really double down and put Cam Reddish in here, but I don't think I need to because I've got Andrew Wiggins who's sitting at 19. And now I know he's not been amazing to start the season, but that's too low. there has to be a game where he comes and kicks in and he'll get a 30-ish point score. I know it's a different Warriors team to these performances that I should probably have moved myself for this. These performances, I'm looking at old Andrew Wiggins stats here last year. This is this year, and then this is what we've got for currently, and this is what we can see Andrew Wiggins can do. So it's definitely in there. He was good at points last year, especially when they had multiple players out. And I know Steph's there, I know Clay's there, I know CP3's there, but this is a back-to-back. So if one of them sits and Andrew Wiggins plays, I really, really like this play. And I've got him on a 15.5% because I've had this card since the start of last year. So I'm really bullet. I know the projections probably don't even see Andrew Wiggins doing that well, but I'm gonna run with him. We're gonna throw Jordan Poole in there as well. I don't need to spend too much time talking about Jordan Poole. 20 L10. He's got a game against Charlotte. I'm just gonna play him. That leaves me with 30 for 2 spots left. So we could go Jaylen Brown, and then that's a 27. I don't want Jaden Ivey. I would pick Brogdon, but he came off of that. He didn't come back into the game against the Kings with that hamstring strain, so I'm not going to play him. Jeremy, so Markelle Fultz, there's the running joke, well, not joke, it's genuinely serious that how every single guard that plays the Milwaukee Bucks seems to have their way with them. Tyrese Halliburton was an example of that last night. Don't get me wrong, I'm not comparing the two. It's more of that every guard seems to have their way. Markelle Fultz is a bit of a different player profile to some of them. Doesn't shoot the three at all. So I think maybe Suggs or Anthony might be the play for that one. But if he had another game, I'll tell you what, if he had another game, I definitely would have took the gamble on him. But because he's got one, I'm not going to risk it when I've got these two guys in this lineup here. So we'll take Jaylen Brown out. If I go a little bit more expensive, I've got Bam Adebayo, I've got Jaren Jackson Jr., I've got Jimmy Butler. Jaren Jackson Jr. against Utah and the Clippers is very nice. Memphis have been terrible, don't get me wrong. That leaves me with 23. KCP, Trendon Watford. Trendon Watford, I think, is starting to be put into the rotation a bit now since he's moved from Portland, and also Ben Simmons out. So Trendon Watford could project quite well. I don't want Bruce Brown. He's just a very steady any. I think KCP against the Rockets with Jamal Murray sitting could be the move. So we're going to go KCP, but I think I'll pay attention to the deadline to see what's happening with Brooklyn, because if they're resting players and Trendon Watford's there, he might be the move. So in fact, stay with me. We'll do my, we did this last week, I think, and it was actually it was a lot easier for me. It would help if I actually clicked on the right ones there. We'll do Red Champion. We're going to gamble on Devin Booker that he might play against the Thunder. He's not playing against the Lakers. So this lineup is not expecting to do much in any case, but we'll throw Booker in there. We'll throw Bam in there. We'll throw Jaylen Brown in there. We scroll on down. We'll put Cam Reddish in this one as our sort of cheaper L10 player. Yuta Watanabe is not being trusted again. And then an L10 of 38. I can put Jimmy Butler in there again, can't I? So I think that'll be the play. We'll put Jimmy in there, and then we'll throw Jaylen Brown in there to round it off. And then rare underdog. I've got some players that I can actually trust for rare underdog. Well, you say trust. I've got a lot of players that I can put in rare underdog in any case. So we'll scroll down to these. We've got, we'll do the Jackson Hayes gamble. We'll also do the Jared Vanderbilt gamble. So he's projecting really, really well this week. But because he's evaluated, I think it's today or tomorrow, he might play in that second game in Portland. And that's why he's projecting really well. But again, I've got two guys here that are not currently playing. So this is the ultimate sort of hoping that no one picks them and they play well. It's an interesting strategy, don't get me wrong. It's worked before, but it's a very volatile one. 16 left on the table. We can go for a Javon Carter. He's been getting minutes and he's playing the Pistons. That leaves me with 24 left. I think that 24. We'll put Trendon Watford in there for now. And then if it moves, I'll probably put Trendon Watford in the contender mode. So that's that. They're my lineups, I think. Oh, and a street ball one that I already put together that had some throwaway cards in it. Not throwaways, but you know what I mean. They're not in priority lineups. Mikal Bridges had an argument for it, but we'll leave him there. I think I had a moment ago. Yeah, I have some rewards, and I don't know what these are. It's a common pickup card tier 3. That's going to be, I don't know who that's going to be. Colin Gillespie. Well, Mike's carrying a big fan of Colin Gillespie there. So Colin Gillespie at tier 3 is not bad. And then I don't know what, I assume this is like $1. 85p. Yeah. See, I don't understand this tournament. I really don't. I came 353rd and it got 85p. A lot of the stuff I liked this year, I know that they concentrated the rewards down a little bit more, but like, come on, what is the point of this one here for $700? Just put those rewards in limited or spread them out across limited and rare. I don't want to, like, there's no, the only way you win this as well is if you have super rares and uniques because they can be played in it, but that's it in any case. I hope you did enjoy that one. Thank you very much for watching. If you're going to catch me on, I'm going to be on Live Before Lock this evening as well when I film this on the Friday. The Friday evening I'll be on there, so catch me over there, say hello. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like on the video. Please consider subscribing. Also, our podcast, our most recent podcast, latest English, our most recent podcast has just dropped. There'll be a link for it up here or up here. If my camera wants to focus, it's not going to focus. It'll be in either of the top corners. Go check it out. We just discuss everything that the first 2 weeks has taught us. Whose stocks are rising and whose stocks are falling within the NBA. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck with this game week. I hope you get loads of rewards, and I'll catch you in the next one.